It's a trap. In conjunction with World Water Day, which is this coming Wednesday on March 22nd, I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of water. We're here next to the Chippewa River, which was a very influential and very used river, both by colonial peoples and by indigenous peoples prior to colonization. Water was used for travel, for food, and for water. Since we are primarily made of water as humans, and water is so important to us, I think it's something that we don't think about every day. We don't think about where it comes from or how it's used, or the diversity of life that is teeming in the water at all times. And one of those things that are in the water all the time are fish. And you can probably agree that fish are really important as a means of food for a number of humans throughout the world. And that's the case for indigenous people here living in southern New England. You might think of fishing as putting your pole out and casting it, or maybe you're thinking of commercial fishing where they have really large nets. But indigenous people here did both of those things. They've used hooks, they used nets, they used spears. But we're going to talk about one way that they used it, and that is the fish trap and the weir. Here in the river, these traps would be used most likely using another system of capture called a weir, W-E-I-R. Weirs could be set up here in the river, either in a V formation or in a angular formation where they come off the shore. The idea of the weir is to slow the flow of fish down to one central location so that they can be gathered really easier. And this trap would have been used in the weir as a central location where all the fish are being funneled to. You put this trap in and they would catch them. So the way this trap works is the fish go in and they come to this halt where it angles in until it gets to a closure point, and then the fish cannot swim out. Fish go in, fish can't come out. So why are these traps so important? Well, one of the things that we see both in the archaeological record and extant existing indigenous peoples who fish is that around this time we start to see anadromous, or those fish that swim upstream to spawn, coming up the river. And this is a great time for catching fish. When all of the fish are coming up to spawn in one location, it's really a really great time to catch them and to kind of acquire a ton of fish that you can dry out and eat for a long period of time. The issue that we have is that post-colonial times, we see the damming of rivers. Rivers like the Naugatuck and the Housatonic are dammed in multiple locations for mills and for other colonial endeavors. These dams stop anadromous fish from swimming upstream and thus break the flow of the use of these kind of traps and weirs on a larger scale. In the future, we realized that this is really important. And so what they've done is dismantled some of these dams and actually added fish ladders, which are different kind of lock systems for fish to go up and get upstream to get back to their original spawning locations. And we see the resurgence now in the past few years of these types of fish now spawning upstream again. So this is one example of why water is so important for humans and why the control and use of water is so important. Who can use it, who can use the resources that are found within it is a really important topic here in modern the United States and throughout the world. Thanks again for joining us for another edition of Inside with IAIS. If you really like this video and want to learn more about fishing, fish weirs, or anything else that has to do with pre-colonizing lifeways here in southern New England, please visit us at the museum. If you want to learn anything about post-colonial indigenous lifeways here in the 21st century, please visit us at the museum. And if you like this content, please feel free to visit our website, click that donate button, and we would love to see you at the museum or one of our events. Thanks again.